Twitch has done it again. Against all odds, they have proven that yes, they can continue to piss off their creators and alienate every single one of them. Yesterday, as I'm sure you've already heard, Twitch released their new branded content guidelines, and they basically seemed to kneecap any creator who wanted to make money off of sponsored content. Here is a brief overview of what they've put forward. You can now no longer insert, as they call it, burnt in, video ads, display ads, or audio ads, and any logo that you feature on screen of a brand has to be limited to 3% of the screen size. And it didn't take long for Twitter to absolutely lose its marbles over these changes, and to be honest, quite rightly so. They are ridiculous, and this video definitely isn't here to say that all of these people have been overreacting. Because all this does is show just how out of touch Twitch actually are with their user base. And some of the top creators have not only been saying that they themselves might be leaving the platform, but they have also been pushing and advising other people to do the same thing. So this begs the question, are they right in saying this? Is it time for you, no matter what size your channel is, to leave Twitch and go and find another platform to put your time and energy into? Well, I think it's useful to start with a bit of context as to why people are so angry and upset with Twitch to the point where they are actually advising people to move and leave them completely. What happened yesterday with the brand guidelines is actually just one piece of a much larger puzzle that has been developing over the past few years. The platform has most notably made changes to subscriber revenue when they announced that the revenue split would be moving to 50-50 for all creators rather than keeping the few 70-30 splits that they had for top creators. They've also changed the way advertisements work on Twitch so that viewers are seeing more advertisement and creators are actually being pushed to run even more ads on their channel on top of that. And then yesterday, they make changes to how streamers can make money off of sponsored content. And all this does is paint a picture of a platform who doesn't really care about the creators who are using it and would much rather focus on raking in as much money as possible for their own personal gain. It presents a picture of a company who is completely out of touch with the people who use their platform. And not only that, but also doesn't really seem to care about them or their livelihoods. They also announced, by the way, which kind of got swept under the rug amidst all the other drama, that if any affiliate or partner wants to terminate their agreement with Twitch, they would have to pay Twitch $25 for the privilege to do so. It's just not a good look at all. And I want to give my own personal experiences with Twitch here because I've been streaming on the platform now for just over 2 years, and I've actually been partner on the platform for just under 9 months. And I can confidently 100% hand on heart say that I have found no benefit since being a Twitch partner. There has been no financial benefit because my revenue split is exactly the same as it was when I was an affiliate. I haven't really had any more opportunities presented to me, aside from the occasional chance to appear on that front page carousel thing, which only really succeeded in briefly boosting my numbers and making everybody in my chat think that I was getting viewer botted. I didn't even get any benefit to TwitchCon. This was the most ridiculous thing. They removed the partner discount for TwitchCon tickets. I went to book my tickets for Paris and found out that for some reason they had scrapped the discount. Just why? What was the point in that choice? Now, the point of me saying all of this and use my own personal experiences is to highlight the fact that Twitch is currently moving to a point where they will be the platform with the worst revenue model offering for the streamers in comparison to other streaming services. And there's negligible benefit to actually investing your time into the platform and working your way up the ranks, as it were. Honestly, the best thing that Twitch has going for it right now is the fact that it has the most users and it has the best user culture, which are really just byproducts from the fact that it was the only platform offering the streaming service for such a long time. And those benefits will disappear as more and more competitors rise to the surface. So speaking of competitors, let's move on and talk about where would you go? What does the competition actually look like? Well, after the bombshell that was dropped yesterday, we very quickly found out what the streaming competition looks like. Imagine you're a woman in a relationship and you've just had an argument with your boyfriend, and then that guy who you've definitely friend-zoned pops up in your DMs and he starts telling you how he would treat you better and how you would never be sad if you got into a relationship with him. Well, that was basically every other streaming platform after Twitch broke our hearts. You had Kick, Fanhouse, Rumble, which I didn't even know about until yesterday, to be honest, all promising a better model, a better service if streamers were to move over to them. But just like you shouldn't hop into bed with that eager guy in your DMs, you also shouldn't just jump ship and move to one of these services without actually doing some research and finding out if what they offer is the best choice for you. Because it's not just about money. Sure, increasing the revenue split that you get from your subscriptions would be amazing. And sure, increasing your monthly revenue from your streams would be mwah. But let's take Kick for example. Kick currently offers a 95-5 revenue split, meaning that the platform takes 5% of your subscription earnings, which, when you compare it to the 50-50 that Twitch currently offer, sounds incredible. But then you should also take into account the fact that Kick is kind of infamous at the moment for being a really unsafe space for any minority community, including people of color, the LGBTQIA+ community, and women in general. Many people also still believe that Kick's longevity is questionable, and that the current revenue model that it has set up is just unsustainable in the long term. This article here actually sums it up in a really nice way. Kick is great for creators, but bad for humanity. So, if you were to move to a space that might be more dangerous for you and your viewers, would it really be worth the extra few dollars a month? Let's look at another competitor, probably Twitch's biggest competition in the space at the moment, YouTube. It's a platform that has already established itself and reigns supreme in the video content creation world, as well as making steps to take the top spot for live streaming. And for me personally, I would say that YouTube is probably the best competitor for you to consider moving to at the moment. It has a lot of positives going for it, and it seems to only be improving as time goes on, unlike Twitch. But that being said, it is still in its infancy, and the general consensus at the moment is that it will still be another few years before YouTube is truly in a position to threaten Twitch's reign. For example, one of the major gripes that people have with YouTube at the moment is that it's just not fun for viewers. If you think about channel points and hype trains and all of that stuff over on Twitch and how interactive that makes the experience as a viewer, well, that stuff just doesn't exist on YouTube at the moment. They are slowly implementing these things, but it's going to take time. And so it's up to you to decide if it's better to wait for these things to be implemented or if it's worth just making the move now. Obviously, I'm just giving a few pros and cons of some of the competing platforms that are available, but that's kind of the point of this video. You should be doing your own research before you commit to making a move and deciding what is the best choice for you and your current position as a streamer. For me personally, I won't be joining an immediate boycott of Twitch and denouncing the service by never streaming over there again, because it just doesn't make the most sense for me as a streamer. I've built up a community over there, and just abandoning them wouldn't really be the best move. But that being said, I am going to start looking into streaming more over here on YouTube, and maybe moving to a 50-50 split where I stream for the first half of the week on Twitch and then the second half of the week over here on YouTube. And if you do want my advice here, although of course I would say to take it in line with what other people are saying and just use it to form your own opinion, then my advice would be to take some time soon to thoroughly research what other competitors could offer you as a streamer. If Twitch continues on the current path that it's on, then to be honest, it's just making it really easy for somebody else to take that top spot. So I would say prepare for that eventuality and gradually over time, start moving to somewhere that suits you better. And then that way, if Twitch does clean up its act and start putting creators first, then you haven't lost all of the hard work that you've put into building a community, and you can quite easily just move back over to Twitch if that's what you want to do. Now, it should be noted that Twitch did apologize for the bombshell that it dropped yesterday and said that it is going to be looking into the guidelines and making it more creator friendly. If you want to be charitable, then you could see this as the first step in Twitch realizing just out of touch with creators that they've become and hopefully making steps to rectify this. But if you didn't want to be charitable, then I guess we'll just have to wait and see what these changes are going to be and how it's going to affect creators. These changes, whatever they will eventually turn out to be, are set to go into effect from July 1st, which is less than a month away. So whatever it's going to be, we're going to be seeing the effects of it pretty soon. But what do you think? Will you be making a move to a different platform? Will you be staying on Twitch and just hoping for the best? Let me know down in the comments. I'm really interested to get people's views on this, especially if you're a streamer yourself and this is impacting you, or even if you are a viewer. What do you think this will mean for your favorite streamers? Would you follow them over to a different platform? You know, are you bound to Twitch, or are you flexible and just want to follow the creator themselves? Leave your thoughts down below and I will do my best to reply to them. And of course, if you liked the video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more gaming news and content. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. Go out there and be the best damn crunks that you can be. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. I'm taking that crown from you.